research on bubbles?
I've not done any research on bubbles. I know quite a bit about some of the research that's been done, but certainly some of the things that I've done in terms of research on traders has some relevance. And I think people talk about bubbles as irrational and easily talk about them as thus necessarily driven by irrational behaviour. But of course, not all of the behaviour that's going on that's driving a bubble is irrational. A lot of traders talk about, for example, the trend is your friend. And if you're a trader sitting inside an investment bank who's got privileged insight into a large proportion of customer business, so a real sense of demand and supply, you may have a view, and in some cases it's going to be a plausible view, that you can make money out of the trend and you can exit it before it crashes. So you may well, as a trader, invest in a bubble fully knowing that it likely is a bubble, but be taking the view that you can probably exit more quickly than the average punter and hold on to a good proportion of those gains. There's also evidence in some of the more recent bubbles, at least I suspect historically that this probably happened as well, of people actively promoting bubbles. You know, so if we think about the internet bubble that grew around the value of firms like Amazon and so on, there's documented evidence that some traders in the market were actively pushing stories around the ways in which the market had changed and how there really were economic fundamentals behind the price rises and so on. Probably quite cynically, with a view to boosting take-up of assets they were already invested in, increasing the price, and a view that, again, they would be able to exit before the average punter.
Do you think the tech market is a bubble at the moment then?
I try not to take a view on market prices because I think that's a mug's game myself. I follow some of these debates with interest. I just don't think I'm qualified to decide is the price that a market has arrived at discounting all of the information that it could discount. And, I think that there is some evidence that markets are not as perfect as the efficient market hypothesis would suggest. But on the other hand, a really easy way to go bust is assuming that you know more than the market.